Chapter 65 The Chemist, Johns Finley, Weir Johnson and Louis Pasteur, the Frenchman. In 1855, a Scottish chemist, James Finley Weir Johnson, published the book The Chemistry for Common Life. It includes a long description of hemp. At this time, when exploration through chemistry had begun, researchers attempted to isolate the active constituents of coca leaves. German chemist Friedrich Gatke found a way to extract coca leaves. The extraction method was called erythroxylin. Also, the use of matches was popular and it was a big advantage for the tobacco business. A new design was born in 1855 to update this wonderful style. It was called the matchbox. A match was briefly lit by sticking the match on the gunpowder surface of the matchbox. By the year 1857, Europe and the Americans, who was aspiring to become world leaders, had got a good understanding of the demand for tobacco and the profit from it. Therefore, they launched a conspiracy to popularize tobacco more. Even though the doctors of Europe and America used hemp for medicinal reasons, they advised the Europeans who controlled the colonies to popularize the fact that hemp is a drug. Among their colonies, also the British popularized among the colonies that by using hemp, people become immoral and that the use of hemp is a sinful act. But British nationals continued to make in hemp-related products. By this time, the Royal Council of England had done some research and revealed some things to the world, but some opportunities were lost to them. That is, they were concluding that the origin of life is a spontaneous act. That is, from place where there is waste cloth and rain, rats will born, and from dirty places, worms and flies will be born. But there were a few people who were able to understand something and reach conclusions without any effort. To see the truth or falsity here, Frenchman Louis Pasteur was one such person. He wanted to prove that belief of scientists who represent the Royal Council of England was in an illusion. As a result, he pointed out that the fermentation of wine is done by single-celled bacteria, and well-boiled milk can be kept for a long time because the bacteria are destroyed. He also succeeded in developing a vaccine to cure rabies. And in 1858, the telegraph system based on electricity and magnetism was used to communicate between continents. It was with the help of a 3,584 kilometers long copper wire that was pulled across the Atlantic Ocean. Hemp fibers and tar were used to create insulation around this copper wire. The kerosene business, introduced by Scotsman James Young, developed rapidly in 1859. Therefore, the use and demand of the hemp oil, which was used to light lamps until then, decreased. Until then, hemp oil was in the first place in the world market, but with the advent of kerosene, it became the second place. Meanwhile, the use of coca leaf began to increase among the people of Europe. To provide adequate supply to the demand, the British rulers cultivated coca in the colonies and introduced it to Ceylon, now called Sri Lanka, in 1860. Albert Neumann, a German chemist, introduced a more successful method to extract the active substance of the coca leaves. He introduced the extract as cocaine. Do you realize that governments eager to destroy the drug started it? In order to maintain governments, some unsolvable problems must be given to the society. Then people will want a government to get rid of those problems. A very clever plan. It has faced you in previous governments in Sri Lanka and is still facing the same problem but solving little by little. Shouldn't we know the history in order to take this action as an inspiration and act so that such problems do not arise?